In the last chapter, let me see what happened in the last chapter. So it was the Black Cat Pirates versus Zoro and Luffy. Kaya escaped Klahadore, and after Kaya escaped with Usopp's Usopp's pirate crew, it was right. It was Butchie, Django, and Klahadore versus Zoro and Luffy. Usopp and Usopp Usopp and Nami are out. They're down for the count because they're too heavily injured. Yeah. Okay. So chapter 36, after them. And that cover art is Buggy's crew after the battle with Zoro and Luffy. So it starts off with Pepper saying, behind us, you see the hypnotist? Nope. Let's lose him for good. Nobody can catch us in these woods. Don't worry, Miss Kaya. You can count on us to protect you on our honor as Usopp's pirate crew. Thank you, Usopp's pirates. At that moment, the trees in front of them get cut in half. Yikes, what was that? They're not here, Django says. Django continues throwing his blades throughout the forest, cutting through trees. Come out and play, you rotten brats. Don't think you can escape me. It's him. He's not a typical traveling hypnotist after all. If I have to, I'll topple this whole forest. I'll give it a nice buzz cut. What was that sound? It's probably Django finishing off your friends. See for yourself. Though you may be too late. You better hurry to their aid if you can, Klahadore says. Why, you lived in the same home with her for 3 years, Usopp says. Don't you have an ounce of feeling for her? Not an ounce. As I say, Kaya was a pawn. I needed to further my plan. When she dies, I'll say my thanks. You unredeemable scoundrel, Zoro says. Who wants to redeem him? Luffy says, if I don't hurry, they'll all be killed. I'll never let slime like you win. There's not a second to lose. You can move impressive, Klahadore says. Butchie! Klahadore calls Butchie to come fight. I'll slice him to ribbons, Butchie says. Out of my way, Zoro says. I'm in a hurry. You've been a very bad kid. Stay down and shut up, and I may let you live, Zoro says. At that moment, Usopp collapses. Usopp! No, my body, I can't move. Haha, you look ridiculous, but you're much safer on the ground like that. If you caught up with Django, he'd only kill you. Doesn't matter. Gotta protect him. I gotta protect those kids, Usopp says. Usopp, Zoro says. Butchie then picks up Zoro and launches him against the rock wall. Throws him against a wall. I'm Captain Usopp and they're my crew. I'm a brave warrior of the sea. I won't let you lay a finger on the villagers. Look at him shouting threats with his rump in the air. Baby's crying, the Black Cat pirates say. Laugh at Usopp again and I'll kill you, Luffy says. Scaring all the Black Cat crew. Butchie continues fighting Zoro, saying, Kitty Cat, I told you, never to get in my way again. You were warned. Out of my way, Zoro says, cutting through Butchie. But Butchie was hypnotized to be super strong, the Black Cat pirate crew says. Luffy, I'll carry Usopp and go after the hypnotist. Got a problem with that? No problem, hurry. Sorry, I'd make better time on my own. But they're in the woods. I'll never catch them without you to guide me. So, boy, who gave you permission to climb this slope? I did, Luffy says. Luffy throws a punch at Klahadore, misses, and Zoro runs past. Run, guys, Luffy says. Take this, Butler. Klahadore dodges Luffy's attacks. He disappeared. Klahadore appears behind Luffy, launching an attack, and Luffy dodges. Then Luffy says, Gum Gum, spear! Shooting both of his legs at Klahadore. Hey, he disappeared again. Klahadore flash-steps away and says, oh well, Zoro got up the slope, Luffy says. That kid's going at it with Captain Kuro. Before we fight, seriously, I have one question. Why are you an outsider sticking your neck out for this village? 'Cause there's someone in this village I don't want you to kill. East, I said east. How do I know which way is east? Just say right or left. Okay then, about face right. Back the way we came. Usopp gives Zoro directions while they run for it. How simple. Is it enough to die for? It's good enough for me, Luffy says, but I'm not gonna get killed. At that moment, Django continues to cut through the forest. Now where'd they run to? Listening out for Kaya and the boys. Miss Kaya. I'm sorry, you boys go on, Kaya says. What? But it's our duty to protect you. Hey. No, she's burning up. Take it easy, Miss Kaya. She needs a doctor. There's no time, dummy. Our lives are in danger. But she can't run anymore. At a time like this, Usopp's pirate crew must be prepared. I will fight that dumb hip. And at that moment, Django appears and says, so here you are. And that is the end of chapter 36. That was a good chapter. A little cliffhanger at